Hey, g'day folks, it's Forteetu talking about Star Citizen, and today what I wanted to do is talk about what do you need as basics to get into the game, because like I don't have a great rig when it came to the video card. It's 4 years old. What I'm running is actually a 660 Ti. It's a 4-year-old card, and I held off getting into Star Citizen, so I thought I kind of bit the bullet and went, oh no, I'm going to do it, and then you know, is it playable? So in Hangar, anyway, I've got EVGA Precision X overclocker up there in the corner doing the frames. So in the Hangar here, initially in the teens, getting up into the 20s, weird stuff's happening in the Hangar. Things are jittering everywhere, and I don't know what's going on with this wildfire. What is the deal? Its anchor point is way over here. Nice ship. It's the Wildfire version of the Hornet is the subscribers monthly loaner ship this month. Nice ship. It's a nice fly. I like the little turret on the top. Currently flying with a pair of size 2 lasers on it and 3 Mantis on the front of it. Size 3 Mantis. But there's weird things in the ship at the moment with the way the fire group's set up. So just putting some ships back into the Hangar, and you can see the frame rates in the teens. I mean, it kind of varies wildly. It stays in the teens, and then it'll pop up above 30, and sometimes up even into the 40s. So although it can have a decent frame rate, it does dip down into the teens. If it's doable, you know, if it's just the experience, I mean, you know, just running around in the Hangar at the teens isn't that bad of a deal. But you know, let's have a look past here, and we'll head out onto a multiplayer server and see what happens to the frame rate. So back into our Hangar elevator, over to the panel here. And Art Corp. Let's go Area 18 Art Corp. And have a look around on planet side. So here we are at Area 18. Again, kind of, you know, initially in the teens, jumped up above 30, and then is now, you know, varying wildly for our frame rates. I guess what I should say in the settings, sorry I didn't mention this before, the settings for this, I've got everything on low. It's running at 1280, 1080, you know, 1280 by 1080. Shut up with the numbers. It's running at 1080p on the low settings. One thing that I have done is taken BoredGamerUK has a user.cfg file that's available. I will link it in the description below. I highly recommend, if you're running with not great video hardware, that you get the performance version of that user file and just drop it into your Star Citizen. There's instructions on the thing, and use that, because it did give me some decent frame rate improvement to the point where it was playable. You know, in my opinion, it was playable. I mean, I'm sure there are those out there who are going to look at this and go, I would never play that because the graphics are all turned down to low and they look like crap. And there are others out there who would go, I'm not going to play that because the frame rate's too low and I'm not going to deal with that frame rate. And that's fair enough. You know, you're going to make your own decision where you're going to draw the line in performance and whether it's playable or not, and, you know, a bit of a personal decision. But we're getting, you know, again in the teens and varying wildly, sometimes up above 30 frames per second here on planet side in Area 18. But let's go run back over to Departure Center, departures and arrivals, and we'll head to Crusader. Actually head into the persistent universe and see what's happening there. Few people on the server. Obviously, the fewer people that are there, the better those frame rates are going to be. So, you know, seeing a few people around, it hangs in the high teens into the 20s for the most part. Now, on Crusader and Persistent Universe, I've just jumped ahead here to where ships already spawned, but you can see what's happening with the textures on the ship. They don't resolve in, so you just get this mottled, smudgy gray thing. Happens kind of everywhere. There's ground will do it, walls will do it, fixtures will do it, that kind of stuff. I'm not 100% sure. Like here, those displays right there doing the same thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the 2 gigs on the card that's just not allowing all of those textures to be loaded in at the same time. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. Somebody probably has a much better explanation than that of me than I do. But I have noticed that when you focus on something a bit more, then it tends to resolve in. So potentially other textures are being unloaded because they're not within your field of reference or something. I'm not 100% sure there. Actually, I'm just making crap up, but it sounds good to me. So anyway, let's get off the landing pad here. And just go for a quick spin because, you know, if you can't fly and if you can't fight, there's kind of no point. Right, so let's see what frame rates are here. We're getting above 30 into 40s, and so again it does drop down into the teens, so you get some significant frame rate drops that are going to cause some problems. And as we get into a bit of combat here, we are kind of in the high teens and 20s as we go into dogfights, and that's with one player ship and a couple of AI. So if you had a much larger dogfight than this, you're going to suffer in the frame rates more significantly. There's a... here we go, bring him around. I think what I've got on this at the moment is 3 Panther repeaters on the front. Which I find quite nice, actually. Size 3, and with the cutlass you can get some sustained fire onto them and not overheat too quickly. In a bit of a tight spin there, so I can get out of that and get some distance. So I can turn around and try and get some guns back on. There's a reasonable number of missiles on the cutlass. It carries 8. So use some missiles here. And that slows him down, so we've got to chase him down a bit. And just leave one more for him. So now with the kind of real threat out of the way, it just leaves this Aurora left here. And there's not too much of a worry from this little Aurora. Make pretty short work of that. And bye-bye. Alright, pirates are cleared out of the way. So let's get over to the comm relay and get inside. And again, we can see there were parts of the combat there that the frame rates were up in the 40s even, and now, you know, dipping back into the 20s and into the teens. Not to sound too repetitive, but there's one thing for sure, that you will just get wildly varying frame rates, and that does affect the control of the ship, especially in dogfights, because you're getting one level of sensitivity in one moment and a different level of sensitivity in another moment. Does that make it completely unplayable? Well, I don't know. I just killed a couple pirates and, you know, gonna cruise inside the comm station here and do the mission, so I don't know. Works for me. Although I can't say that I'm too happy with the idea of missing how pretty this game can be. You know, when it's in high res, it is a beautiful looking game, and clearly with higher frame rates, you're gonna get smoother gameplay and be more efficient, be more lethal as a pirate or pilot. Either one, you know, for all you good guys out there that don't want to be pirates or whatever. So just sneak inside the comms relay here. Try not to bump my head. Down to the computer terminal. Alright. And and completely failed to notice that this is a glitched comms relay. Great. So where it looked off and was going to be turned on, it was actually secretly on, and now I've just magically turned it off. So I'm a pirate now. Yay, I'm a wanted criminal. Let's get the hell out of here. It wasn't my fault, it was a bug. Does that work in court? Oh no. I have to see if I can find a lawyer that'd use that for an excuse. So anyway, that's it. That's, I mean, there's a mission, there's a bit of dogfighting, a bit of running around. Average frame rates, I don't know, it's hard to pin down an average. I might say in the low 20s as an average, with the way things tend to fluctuate back and forth. Is that playable for you? I've enjoyed it, but obviously I want more. So with luck, new video card on the way soon, and that'll even make these videos better. Hey, if you liked what you've seen, if this helps you out with the rig that you've got and deciding whether you want to jump into Star Citizen now, let me know. Comment below, like, subscribe, you know the deal, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks guys, peace out.